Again. Alright, so remember to like and share the video, ladies and gentlemen. This is my raw reaction to I'm watching this for the first time. You get me? Let's get into it.
And therefore I'll be starting at the infirmaries. Now, Melissa at MPs Burchell and Nita Garvey, colleagues, members of the press, viewers, good morning. I just want to spend a few minutes to look at some of our experiences out in Western Jamaica since the passage of Hurricane Melissa, and how these situations are being made worse by lack of resources. And I'm going to be starting, ladies and gentlemen, not with roads, but I'm going to start with the most vulnerable amongst us. And therefore I'll be starting at the infirmaries. Now, Melissa wreaked havoc indeed on a number of our infirmaries and police departments. And the Westmoreland Municipal Corporation, Infirmary, and Police Department were indeed not spared the wrath of Melissa. The same can be said about St. Elizabeth, the same can be said about Trelawney, the same can be said about my neighboring parish of Hanover. And even though it was clear, and it's still clear, that our police department was completely destroyed. I mean, the buildings flattened, and our infirmary also suffered extensive damage to the laundry, to the kitchen, and to the meal ward. Despite all of this, the meager subventions that we normally got remain the same, or for some months were even less. Just to show you that for the infirmary, on a monthly basis, we require anywhere between $14 to $16 million to fund this facility. But yet, we receive anywhere between $8 to $9 million from the Ministry of Local Government per month for this. So this is leaving us with a shortfall of anywhere between $8 to $9 million on a monthly basis. Now, our residents
Jamaica, for educational purposes, you know, what is an infirmary? An infirmary is a place where sick and hurt people get medical care, such as clinic, first aid room, or a small hospital. I want you to let that sink in. This is the entity that is being underfunded in Westmoreland after being struck by Hurricane Melissa. So for the persons again out there that say we are exaggerating about the government being wicked and uncaring and evil, this is what we're talking about. Yet another example. Yet another example. Let's continue. What's up now?
Needs to be fed, bills need to be paid, staff salaries need to be paid. So this shortfall must come from somewhere. Where is it coming from? Own source. The minister speaks about us having 20 to 20 revenue streams, own source revenue streams. I've been checking and I can't find 20 realistic, consistent own source revenue streams in the system. Because for one, our market would have been a source of revenue, yes, even though we still have to be subsidizing activities there. But after the market was completely destroyed, Minister Mackenzie, even though some vendors are still willing to pay something to occupy the grounds, Minister Mackenzie came there and publicly said to the vendors, no pay no market fee because the market not there. So he himself has erased one of the streams of revenue that he speaks about every single day without finding a way to help us replace it.
No, this is cruel. This is what I call cutting off somebody's foot when them only have 1 foot left. That's cruel. You tell the people to stop paying it, but you don't find the money for them. Where them are going to find it from? And then they come and say, oh, them have money for money. What a wicked man. You? Desmond McKenzie, you? He said, God, I got to deal with them, man.
Right? He recently made mention about the Westmoreland Corporation not wanting to pay contractors. The only person that wants to pay contractors is Mr. Mackenzie himself. Because Mr. Mackenzie came to the Westmoreland Infirmary after the advent of... The only person that wants to pay contractors is Mr. Mackenzie himself. Because Mr. Mackenzie came to the Westmoreland Infirmary after the advent of Melissa and publicly stated that whatever repairs are there to be done, they should be done, and his ministry will foot the bill. He sent down his technical team, they did their assessments, they did their estimates. A contractor was selected and placed on the job. And we have sent in the contractor's bills with all the documentation from February 27. Wow. And we're now into July, and the contractor still has not been paid.
So Jamaica, Desmond McKenzie said, I them are publicly, I them are going to pay the people them. And from February the bill going on and not pay them. Unless you say them are wicked or they not the money. Unless you say them can't operate no government and bring prosperity. Unless that mighty God.
I want to make it clear that the contractor is owed not by the Westmoreland Corporation, but by the Ministry of Local Government, led by Honorable Desmond McKenzie as Minister. I'm dead. You see, we still have people, still have persons in shelters in the parish, approximately 9 months after the hurricane. Wow. We still have 8 active shelters, and these shelters are mainly concentrated in central Westmoreland and eastern Westmoreland. The most popular of these shelters being the Petersfield. And these shelters currently house 60 shelterees. Pronouncements have been made about the Petersfield shelter. Now let me point out that when the Ministry of Government started or commenced work to establish an area to house shelterees who were at Petersfield High School, the Westmoreland Municipal Corporation was not contacted, was not consulted. It's after we commenced that we were brought into the know. And at that time, we received a contract from the Ministry of Local Government with instructions for us to sign and send back to the ministry. So we sat down, administration, technical team, etc., look at the contract. And we realized that there were flaws and there were gray areas and there were questions to be answered. So we responded in writing, asking for clarity on a number of these matters. Response from the ministry was somewhat slow. All they wanted us to do was just sign and send back. Now, in this day and age, we're not into any rubber stamping business. We are there to serve the people and to serve as best as we can. We had concerns about sewage disposal and all that, which were not adequately addressed in the contract. Bear in mind that the location for this project is just a stone's throw away from Roan River. Roan River supplies water to more than half of the parish, right? And Roan River has a history of typhoid. So we do not want to be careless or casual about this matter. So we're asking pertinent questions, of course, about sewage disposal and all those sort of things. We're also asking about the involvement of NEPA. We're also asking about whether or not a subdivision approval was granted. We're also asking about whether or not approval for the use of the land was obtained, because these lands, as far as I know, belong to Sugar Corporation of Jamaica. We can't be out there discouraging squatting and capturing of land. And then as a government agency, we become part and parcel of same actions.
Message.
So as a result of us asking these questions and trying to get clarity, it angered some persons. But we prefer to anger persons to protect, while protecting the people and also while protecting the good name of the Westmoreland Municipal Corporation. So currently, there are 10 housing units, container houses, and at this location. We recently received a letter of no objection from the Public Health Department with regards to proposals that have since been made about sewage system to be put in place. I still haven't seen anything from NEPA. But as a responsible corporation, we still intend to do all we can so as to assist our people in having a roof over their heads, because we're now into the next hurricane season. And by our estimate, in eastern Westmoreland alone, there are over 40% of the houses that were destroyed, that lost their roofs, are still without roofs. So we know you're approaching certain places in eastern Westmoreland and also in central Westmoreland. And if you're on the hill looking down, all you can see is blue. You'd have thought that the sea have no come inland. And all this blue represents tarpaulin. All this blue represents tarpaulin. And at that note, I just want to briefly mention that I am really disturbed and concerned that the process of assisting people through the Ministry of Labour, their assessment, their rules program and all that, I'm really disturbed by the slow pace. People out there suffering. You have adults, when they see signs of rain coming, they start to fret. Because yet after 9 months, they're without a roof, still exposed to the elements. The hurricane season started on June 1, and will be into the end of July. And there's no end in sight to these people and the plight that they are facing. We suffered a lot of damages to our roads. And as mentioned before, the cost of adequately rehabilitating one road. At Westmoreland, we get approximately 24 million on average, 25 million on average per month for PRF. 14 divisions. Yes. After we have deducted the mandatory deductions, SGR and which is 20% of that. Yeah, deductions come to about 38% of that 25 or 24 million. We are now left with approximately $700,000 to $750,000 per division per month.
What can go
So Jamaica, when I was doing the math when Natalie Nita-Garvey was talking, I never factored in these particular intricacies that are now being dropped onto me like a ton of bricks. So you're telling me out of the 1.something million what I was calculating are $2 million, when them start to deduct the amount of things that are mandatory to be deducted from the money, it come up to 38% and left them with $700,000 for the month. Come on, man. The most affected areas after Hurricane Melissa, this is a damn disgrace. No, this is terrible.
This money is supposed to be used to do road rehabilitation, fixing of sidewalks, doing drain cleaning. And I can tell you that we have drains in Westmoreland that to clean such a drain from end to end properly will take you into the millions, 2-3 millions minimum for some of these drains. So when a division is allocated $750,000 per month for a councillor to respond to cleaning a major drain, you will have to save this money. Now, if you try to save this money, you'll be neglecting something else somewhere in the division. At a recent meeting in Savlamar that was attended by Minister Albany, this meeting was put on by the Westmoreland Chamber of Commerce. Some businessmen stood up and spoke, and some of them were saying that they feel as if Westmoreland is now a forgotten parish. They wanted to know whether or not Westmoreland was being punished for voting for the People's National Party. And believe me, when these people spoke, they spoke with passion about it. And these people speaking were political activists. One man actually said that he supports the JLP, but he's disappointed at the way how the parish is being treated. Credit to.
So, the actual aim of the Jamaica Labour Party is backfiring on them, because there's actually people that are liberals that have a conscience. Mighty God. Thank God for Jesus. Thank God for Jesus, that he will melt their hardened hearts and they would come to the realization, hopefully the full realization, that this is not the entity that you would want to represent you and to represent leading the country. Yes. So imagine a Labourite saying that they believe, they feel as if the area is being punished, Westmoreland, because it's majority People's National Party and because they lost in the area. You remember when Andrew Holness went to this helicopter and landed? Where did he land? St. Elizabeth, not Westmoreland. And he made some lame excuse that he couldn't land in Westmoreland. The devil is a liar. The devil is a liar, ladies and gentlemen. Let's continue.
Minister Albany, he said that we will be taking the plight of the people back to cabinet. Don't know if he has done so as yet, but we are looking forward to hearing whether or not that was done. But ladies and gentlemen, in short and in closing, I just want to point out that disaster recovery cannot be funded from an already inadequate operational budget. Disaster recovery needs special allocations. Yeah. And bear in mind also that we are coming off the back immediately of Hurricane Melissa. But Westmoreland also took a battering the previous year from Hurricane Beryl. So it's like a whammy. And we are hoping and praying that going forward, as we go forward in this current hurricane season, we will be spared the wrath of another hurricane or any other disaster. And I'm calling upon the government to look into their conscience and do the right. The people of Western Jamaica, the people from the parishes that were most severely affected, more than ever, need the assistance of government. And I also want to say to the hard-working councillors out there, because we have hard-working, genuine councillors on both sides of the political fence, from right across Western Jamaica, St. Elizabeth, St. James, and over Trinidad, right across Jamaica, for that matter. Be not daunted by the heavy burden that you have been made to bear, with the requisite tools to bear and carry such burden. And to our constituents, we hear your cry, we hear your plea, but we ask for patience as we continue to lobby on your behalf. And to the officers of the municipal corporations, some of whom, whenever it rains, they can't work because their buildings, the offices have been destroyed, their computers and other electronic equipment have been destroyed. We know that you're suffering, really. We know that the work environment currently is not what it should be, but press on. Press on. And Jamaica, we thank you, and Jamaica thank you for your service as well. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
No man, Virgin, if you listen to this and you, I mean, wow, you can hear the genuineness, pure truth coming from this man's lips. What an evil government. What an evil government. Jamaica, all Westerners, all Jamaicans, I'm telling you. Take it to New City. Take it to New City and repent. Take it to New City. And read Psalms 37 every day and remind yourself. Read Psalms 37 every day and remind yourself and strengthen your faith. Make that psalm become like a song in your heart. Fret not thyself of evildoers. They will wither away like the green herb. You hear me say? God is seeing every single thing. They know their heart and they know their intention. You don't have to lift a finger. Go and New City. Fast and pray if you have to. You hear me say? What an evil government. Mighty God. Like, share, and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. No, sir.